Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Blue Dragon 5 here, hosting another thrilling installment of Disney Debates live. Why? Because sometimes you gotta go back to basics. Tonight's topics: most anticipated Disney sequel announcement, best Green Pixar Character, and best Walt-era Disney Villain. Without further ado, let's grab some mouse ears and goofy hats and ride the old Lily Bell all the way to the arena in this corner. The can-do Canadian who eats his enemies for breakfast, and that breakfast is Mickey Mouse-shaped pancakes with magic maple syrup. It's Lazerdude.
All maple syrup is magic if it comes from Canada.
And in the opposing corner, fresh off the steamboat, a new challenger approaches. Wielding some 0-point energy, I hope won't reflect her score. It's pronounced Terran, but without the ta. It's Erin Novak.
Hello, glad to be here.
And joining me on the judges panel, it's Tiki and Jacob Weil.
Hello, everybody.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Erin, really stoked to have you. Guys, I just want to take 1 second. This won't take more than a minute or so, but I just want to acknowledge that today, this channel is So You Want to Be an Imagineer. And guys, we lost one of the titans. We lost one of the legends of Imagineering today. Rolly Crump, rest in peace. My heart goes out to him, his fans, his family, all of that. Just a true legend of the industry. He worked on Small World, Enchanted Tiki Room, Haunted Mansion, Knott's Berry Tales at Knott's Berry Farm. Just absolutely just a titan. He will be missed. One of the last Walt-era Imagineers left. I am going to be doing a tribute show on Friday, so I just wanted to acknowledge that because we are, I like to tie everything back to Imagineering. All right, and with that in mind, Dragon, let's get into it. Why don't you tell everyone how we play?
Okay, here's a little refresher on the rules for the new players that we have, as well as anyone who's joining us live in the comments who's wondering, what the heck is this show? What is this? What have I clicked on? A little refresher on the rules. Okay. So, you got 3 rounds. In these 3 rounds, it's basically going to go like this. First, you're going to reveal your pick. Between you, it goes back and forth. You reveal your pick, then the other guy reveals his pick, and then then you give an opening statement, in which you say all the nice things, all the reasons why your thing is better and best and right. Just list out all the basically basically a nice presentation of why it should instantly win. And then it's a fight to the finish, in which basically you try and take the other opponent out with words. R2 here is the bell. When you hear that sound, we've heard enough. You might have more to say. I don't care. That means we will deliberate amongst the judges here. We will decide. We'll vote on who earned the point most, and whoever gets the most votes will get the point for the round. At the end of 3 rounds, you will both be offered the optional feature of our little game, themed for the month of March. The Oh Months and Money. Who wants some Oh Months and Money? Of course, the way this works is you flip the coin. There you go. You flip the coin, lands heads, you get a point. Lands tails, not so lucky, you lose a point. Again, that coin you don't have to flip. It's your call, because it's all fun and games here. Whatever makes you all comfy and cozy. But hidden in one of our rounds is the Glom Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, the Glom Gold, this will be flipped. Okay, this coin will be flipped in whatever round it is found. It will be offered to the winner of the round it is found in. And if the player so chooses not to flip it, their opponent will be forced to flip it. Now again, same principle. Heads, point, tails, no point. You lose a point. Sorry, you lose a point for lands, tails. Okay, so there is a penalty in effect as well. So we call this the penalty phrase, the penalty word. It basically could be a word, a name, a place, a phrase. Could be one, could be multiple. Who knows? And it'll be starting now. So if either of the players say this word or one of these words, they will incur the big penalty.
Like, you know who knows Dragon?
Who knows?
I know.
Yes, Jacob knows. He'll be kind of like the weatherman. We'll be going to him and just seeing if it's been said. Yeah, to him like the telephone guy. It's like, hey, what's the number on the board, essentially? So that's him.
Yep.
So he's listening specifically for the penalty phrase, and he'll let us know if someone has said it, in which case we're going to rock their world with terrible news. Because when this coin gets flipped, nothing good happens. Lands heads, oh man, not good. Lands tails.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Listen to me, Aaron. I know you're just joining our game right now, Aaron. Don't let it land on tails. Whatever you do, don't let it land on tails. That goes twice. That goes double for Lazerdude. You do not want this to land on tails, especially if you're.
Wait a minute. What do you mean double? Do I get a worse penalty? Is this...
No. I'm just saying. You're kind of prone. You're kind of prone to bad things happening. So I would not.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd be extra careful if I were you. I'm going to say that much.
My game has been ruined by this coin a few times.
And the last few, you still won the last few times though.
Yeah, I'm saying I have lost a game because of this coin, though.
Yeah, that is fair, I guess.
Okay. Remember, I'm just going to remind you, the word is in effect now. Ever since I just said that, so we're gonna see here, because it could be any word that you've said here so far. I don't believe it's been said. Jacob, have they said the words yet, or word specifically?
Yeah, I won't prolong the suspense this time and just say no.
Okay. So just be careful, be wary. Okay. Anyway, all right. Then we get to after the main round, we will get to the speed round, in which there's a time limit in place. There's a whole bunch of craziness in store, and we will be taking audience questions. If anyone in the audience has questions they'd like to pose that are Disney themed, we will be inclined to use them, and you will judge who gets that point. And name of the game is first to 5 points total wins. Do you understand, players? Do you understand these rules as I've explained them to you both here this fine evening?
Yes, I do.
Lazy?
I said yes as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they said about the same time.
Okay. All right. Making sure. Okay. Now there we go. We're good to go.
This is my 10th time.
Yep. So cue the randomizer. Let's find out who's going first this evening. And it's Lazerdude.
I thought ladies go first.
Not this time, it seems.
Oh.
Well, it depends on who you ask, but
Okay.
All right.
All
right. Who's ready for round one?
I am. I better be. I'm going first.
Okay. Round numero. We have a comment.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah, you were muted the whole time. Were you saying anything?
No, I wasn't saying anything while you were doing stuff, but then when I went to go pull up the comment, I didn't realize I was still muted. Anyways, Theme Park Priest says, hey, glad to see Erin is here. She was who I was rooting for in Prometheus. Hope you can have beginner's luck here.
Seems a little personal.
Okay.
You already have a fan.
Yes, thank you, Theme Park Priest. I also hope I have beginner's luck here.
Lazerdude has a detractor already. That's even better. That's even hard to come by.
It's okay.
Okay.
Look, Erin has that underdog energy.
Underdog or Erin dog. Okay.
Right. Dragon, we want to go with red for the banner, right? That's fine.
Well, make it green, Tiki.
Make it green? Oh,
make
yeah.
It green.
Make it
What
green.
Are you, one of the,
Sorry,
one of the fairies?
Sorry, I made it red earlier. That's my fault.
You're good, Jacob. All right.
All right.
Yay!
Which Okay, so in light of, we did have a big news item this month. Bob Iger made a whole bunch of announcements in regards to, essentially, in not so uncertain terms, the ways Disney's trying to recoup their Disney Plus money. It's essentially what they're doing here. So Iger announced recently a whole bunch of Disney animated sequels. So I posed the question to our players here: which recently announced sequel should be most anticipated? All right, Lazerdude.
I said Zootopia 2 should be the most anticipated.
Erin.
I said that Frozen 3 should be the most anticipated.
Okay. Lazerdude, opening statement.
You know, when it came to the choices that were available to me, I was surprised that I wanted Zootopia the most, considering the fact that in my own reviews, I said that I felt like it would be very tough to do a sequel to Zootopia, considering it was a movie about racism, in short, for kids in order for them to understand it. But I think there is so much potential for Zootopia to really expand on that theme. You know, maybe we can finally get some other creatures other than just mammals. Maybe we have reptiles moving into Zootopia, and now some people might have prejudice against foreigners moving into their stuff. We can use that to teach kids about the tricky issues of that in our own world. And so I think Zootopia has the most potential for a really hard hitting but true story that kids really need.
All right, Erin. Let's see if you can top it.
So I chose Frozen because I think that it has just so much potential. Though the second one I thought was very different from the first one. And I know a lot of people that I knew actually liked the second one better. I would say I liked the first one better, but I think the second one was also very strong. And I think that Disney has had kind of a good track record with doing well, especially on their third movies. They do a pretty good job of continuing the through lines and continuing to have, I guess, just good momentum and making it worthwhile to keep watching the stories and keep reinventing the world and exploring different parts of the world. So I think that Frozen 3 has a lot of opportunity to continue to explore maybe some of the other characters. Maybe it's not as much about Anna and Elsa, but they just have such a strong base to grow on and have had so many good songs. So I'm looking forward to good songs from Frozen 3 as well.
All right. Let's fight it out. The furry versus the frozen. Let's do it.
You know, I think the biggest uphill thing with Frozen is that Frozen 2 sucked. I'm just going to say, Aaron. I think it was such a mess of a movie. None of the characters had any idea what they were doing. It was really forced, and the themes were kind of clashing with each other. Like Elsa has to learn how to trust each other, but other people, but she only wins because she just leaves and does all this stuff on their own. Frozen 2 is a mess. So I think Frozen 3 has a lot of cleanup they have to do, as well as telling a good story. And I feel like we saw with Rise of Skywalker that's not always a good sign.
Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking about how Toy Story 1 was so beloved, and some people really liked Toy Story 2. I was not a big fan of Toy Story 2, but then they came back with Toy Story 3. So I kind of feel like Frozen has a similar trajectory of that they can pull it back together. People love the characters, and I think that they just can do a lot building off of what they've already established.
Yeah, but I don't feel like Toy Story 2 expanded this story, where I feel like Frozen, I don't know where it goes now. Where do we go for a sequel? Elsa's Queen of the Woods or Queen of the World at this point. Who can stop her? She's so powerful. And Anna is Queen of Erin now. What story are we telling here? I feel like Zootopia, as I lined out, there's a lot of natural places to take this story to really drive home the lesson to kids to just be kind to everyone.
I think that Frozen has the opportunity to explore some of the less prominent characters. There's some really good sort of side characters in Frozen that I think they could spin off of and do a good job of seeing what's going on with all of them.
I mean, what, we're gonna make Olaf the main character? Didn't we see how badly that turned out with Olaf's Christmas adventure sort of thing? The one that they advertised more than Coco, like that was terrible. I mean, I feel like I don't know what else you're gonna focus on. Like the last movie, like not Han, sorry, Kristoff was barely in it. He was like singing with the reindeer, and it was just like totally pointless and odd and didn't fit the tone. Or I just don't really see what else I need. I feel like the difference is like nobody's looking forward to Frozen. Like Frozen was overplayed the first time, but still really good, and people were looking forward to the sequel. But I don't really think that people are wanting, unless you're the young kids who love the franchise because you don't know how to think critically yet. I don't really know who's really clamoring for that Frozen 3. Just like the Toy Story 5, it's like that feels more forced than natural.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm always a little bit on the side of like who's clamoring for all of these sequels. Like maybe we can try something new. I will say I don't know if I should admit this or not, but I actually haven't seen the first Zootopia, so I have a hard time. So I like can't specifically point to why there shouldn't be a second one, other than I didn't see the first one, so I don't know that I would see a second one.
I mean, you might not have saw it, but it was very popular. I can't remember if it won Best Animated Feature or not. I think it did, but I'm not entirely sure. But I mean, whether you saw it or not, like I feel like my movie still has more potential than Frozen as a franchise movie going forward. Where I just think Frozen's played out. I think it was a nice story to tell once, and now I think we're stretching it like Laffy Taffy.
Okay, all right, that's yeah. Okay. Tiki, should we share some comments before casting our votes?
Yeah, sure. So, Theme Park Priest, first of all, says lots of sequels. What will they choose? Z&K says this may seem dark, but one of the major steps for Frozen 3 is that there had to be some sort of sacrifice death of a major character. And not the cop-out they did with 2. Agreed. Theme Park Priest says there's a lot of development of those IPs at Disney parks right now. Also agreed. Z&K says Zootopia is the one that has so much to explore with both the world itself and the characters. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna cast the first vote here. I'm voting Lazerdude on this one. I gotta be honest. I think Erin had I think she was more defense than offense. I mean, frankly, her offense was like a wet fish, like as a weapon. It wasn't really good at all. I mean, there was really no attack on Zootopia, and honestly, she just said, "I didn't even see the first Zootopia. That didn't help." So, yeah, I'm not feeling Erin this round. Tiki.
Yeah, Erin, I love you, but yeah, that was a rough first round for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're not
wrong. You definitely should not have admitted, even if you didn't have time to see Zootopia, just straight up admitting that you haven't seen it. Ooh. So, and also, Erin, one of the things I was really hoping for from your argument that you didn't really hit on as much as you could have was the fact that Frozen 3, and this is the main reason why I'm actually looking forward to Frozen 3. Frozen 3 is the first time that we're going to see a full-blown Walt Disney Animation Studios trilogy. So I feel like you kind of hit on some of the points of the side characters and stuff, but really that's the main reason I'm anticipating it, is I'm just curious to see what that looks like. Anyways.
And I guess it's my turn to vote.
Yeah, what's your 2 cents, Jacob? Doesn't count for anything. What do you think?
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. There,
Well, no,
Dragon.
literally, it doesn't matter what you think. It's 2-.
Your
I
opinion
know.
doesn't matter, but tell it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And, yeah, my vote has to. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but my vote does go to Lazerdude as well.
A clean sweep.
But
Thanks for your confidence. You're like, I hate to give it to him.
what, you didn't.
Lazerdude.
You guys aren't letting me finish here.
Then go on, insult him further. It's okay.
Yeah. So like, you really need to step up your game, man. Like, you need to have offense and defense, a 1-2 punch kind of thing.
Yeah. You need to be attacking the opponent. That's
He's
like
Canadian.
the main thing I would take
it.
away.
He's gonna be okay. He's Canadian. Everything else comes up Millhouse for him.
Okay, it's okay.
And honestly, you didn't have that much for defending to pick a Frozen either, other than that you really liked the first one. So it's basically bolster your argument and attack his weaknesses.
Mhm.
But good start though. Okay.
That was very kind.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let me, Jacob, was the word said?
And I'm gonna check the tapes. Check. Okay, is it dog here? No, it
Well,
wasn't.
there's Checkers the dog, but no, it was. You're saying it was not said?
No, the word was not uttered at all.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
But I'll keep an ear out for it, Dragon.
It was almost. I know. It was almost said, but okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. Let me check for that hidden coin. And of course, being March, first logical place to check. Me pot of gold. I'm checking and I'm digging through the. Good God, there is an enormous amount of coins here. This is ridiculous. We're never going to be able to find it, and I just found it.
Oh God. Are you being serious, Dragon, or is this another ploy?
I'll have to flip it to find out.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Lazerdude, you won.
Hold on. Let me get to it. I know this is slow. Okay.
All right, Lazerdude, you won the last round. So the coin is yours, friend. Do you have the guts to flip it? Or do you want? Or are you gonna have Erin test the bomb for you?
I'm gonna flip it.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Flip it.
Oh
Flip
boy.
The coin.
Flip the coin.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, it's okay. Still 0-0. That's my thing. It's like it's not like,
It's like the first
I'm
round
gonna
didn't
lose the
happen at
lead
all.
here.
Erin, it was a practice round. You're all good.
Perfect.
That worked out well.
Yep.
Just like Aaron, you didn't get a point, and Lazerdude didn't get a point either. You both stink.
Hey,
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
I won it. I did. This is why I don't flip the coin, guys. This is why I don't do.
I'm just kidding, guys. Calm down.
Okay.
I
All right,
was just-
round.
I was just going against with theme parks. Jacob's the kind host. I was basically like, nope, take again.
Oh, that's not it. Sorry.
Round numero dos. Who is the best green Pixar character? Lazerdude.
Yeah, but Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski, a.k.a. the Green Gary. Okay. Little Monsters at Work joke for the kids out there. All right. Erin.
I picked Disgust.
Okay. Lazerdude, dazzle me. Opening statement.
Mike Wazowski is a character that was beloved so much by fans because he was voiced perfectly by Billy Crystal, and they loved him so much that they made him the lead in the next time they revisited the the Monsters Inc. universe. And they made him the lead because I think they felt like he was the more dynamic character. He had a lot more growth, a lot more of a character to grow on. And I think Billy Crystal just hits him with that right amount like of aggravated and ego that Mike Wazowski has. You know, he's always fed up with all the stuff that's going on with Sully, but he also has a big ego of himself. And so he's full of himself, but he's also just this eyeball. He's so full of himself that even when there's a photo taken of him on a magazine and his eye is covered, his whole face is covered by the barcode, he just sees himself on the magazine, and that's what he sees because he's so full of himself. And that's what makes him a great character. He's fun, he's sometimes a jerk, but you still root for him at the end, and that's why he's ironically a fully round character. We'll round it out.
Emphasis on the round.
Exactly.
All right, Erin.
All right. So Disgust may seem like a little bit of a dark horse here, as she is not the star of Inside Out. She's not the one that is in charge of what's happening. But I would argue that she is very important to the plot, and she's also a very entertaining side character. She brings in that laughter, the scene with the broccoli, and other points throughout the movie. She is just bringing that levity, making everyone relate. I think many of us can relate to feeling disgust and having that part of our brain and our emotions going. And then at the end of the movie, she is able to kind of manipulate anger to be able to get joy and sadness back into the hub, to be able to make sure that everything was okay there. So I think even though she is not the main character, I think she does steal some of the spotlight and is just super entertaining to watch.
Okay. Let's find it out.
Alrighty. Well, my big thing with Disgust is, like, for the most part, her character is just unhelpful throughout the whole movie. Like, the one scene that you pointed out, her making Anger mad and using him to bust open the window, that's like her one good contributing scene to the movie. The rest of the time, anytime she touches the console, it results in something bad, or her Riley being upset. Where, like, Mike Wazowski, he's a little selfish at times, absolutely. But in the end, he does want to do the right thing and does grow attached to Boo, and he does grow as a character. Where Disgust, I don't really think you can say she grew as a character, because that's kind of the thing with those types of emotions. Like, they don't really grow.
They don't grow, but they learn to work together, and I think they get to the end and they're able to share. So I think that there is a character arc there. My thing with Mike is that I just find him annoying. He, like you mentioned, his selfishness, and he just the way that he treats Sully a lot of the time, and just he like grows and then he reverts back, and then he's causing a lot of the chaos in the movie, which I know is the whole point of the movie. But I just find him kind of annoying.
I mean, you're allowed to have your own personal opinions if Mike's is annoying, but I think the thing with Mike is he still has memorable moments, even outside of the main movies. Like, Mike's New Car is one of Pixar's funniest shorts, where he's just his selfishness and ego got him to buy a big car, but he doesn't know how it works, and it's just going all over the place because he's in over his head and doesn't know how to do this. But I think that's why his flaws as a character lead to humor, where Disgust flaws as a character doesn't lead to. You say they work together and help, but their working together made Riley depressed, where they couldn't control her emotions anymore. Now, sure, that was Anger's idea, but she didn't do anything to stop him.
Yeah, but I think that she's arguing with him. They're going back and forth, and I think that it's a little hard to argue where one person is the main character and the other person is like a side character. And as you can kind of tell from how I was talking about Frozen, I really appreciate the side characters. I think it's something that Disney often does really well, is having side characters that are a lot of times more interesting than the main characters are. And so I think that is kind of where Disgust shines. And she is a big part, I think, of what makes Inside Out such a good movie. There's a lot of components to what's happening there, but she definitely brings the levity and brings Riley's a like a preteen girl. So of course, disgust is an important emotion, and the kind of like hormonal thing is really important to speak to her growth as well.
Yeah, but I would say out of all of the emotions, she's like the least essential to like Riley as the character in the plot, because at least memorable for me. I mean, you got joy and sadness, which are the main characters that we're following. So you got them, and then anger. Lewis Black steals the show, and then you got fear, who has a bunch of funny moments like, well, as long as we're not caught up in class, we're fine. And out of the gate, but I don't really remember what is the funny moment from Disgust. What is the moment where she really gets me laughing? Like, I don't really have one off of the top of my head.
I think the broccoli scene is really funny, and I think there's she's like making choices about outfits and things as well. So I don't know. I feel like Mike just has, I don't know, he reverts back so often. Like I guess at the end he is, he does end up caring for Boo, but he just causes so much chaos by his selfishness and not understanding. Like he almost gets Sully killed because he's so self-absorbed about what is going on with him and not what's going on with Sully.
If you're talking about the thing in Monsters University where they go into the human world, yeah, that's he does, but he doesn't take Sully in. He was upset with Sully for faking the simulator, and he wanted to prove that he could scare somebody. Now, he didn't ask Sully to follow him. That's something Sully did on his own, so he didn't willingly put Sully in danger. Now, Disgust doesn't necessarily really put Riley in danger, but she lets anger put in the thing. They don't really argue. She might say some line like, is that a good idea? But that's to the extent of it. And they all agree to put it in, and the bad idea takes off, and Riley is just utterly depressed because of that idea.
I was actually referring to in the first Monsters, Inc. when Randall is attacking Sully and Mike is just like off in his own little world and doesn't realize it. Until accidentally it's like, oh yeah, oops, my best friend is being killed.
Yeah, but that's like the funny, like the moment where Sully is literally choking, and he's like, if you're gonna cry, then I'm gonna cry, and it's like that's what I think that, like, sure, he is selfish, absolutely he's selfish, but that's what makes him a good character. He's so in his own world that he doesn't even realize that Sully is being attacked by Randall. I think that's the thing with these two characters. I think Mike's character flaws make him a funnier and more enjoyable character overall, and Disgust's character overall is just kind of a blah. Like there's nothing too crazy about her character, and beyond that, it's like in comparison, I feel like Mike is the stronger character overall. And say what you will about like Monsters University, it's not everybody likes that movie, but I feel like they were confident enough that Billy Crystal's character, Mike Wazowski, could carry it throughout a whole film on his own. And I think they were, right in that. Where not every side character has enough depth to become the main character. Like they're making Inside Out 2. I don't think Disgust is going to be the next lead.
No, but she's definitely going to be in it. So, I mean, I think
it's not like
important. Well, I mean, it's not like they can take Mike out of Monsters, Inc. the second time. I mean, you have a point that he's the, like in the sequel and they focus on him. But I don't know. When I think best, I think about a character that I like and that I guess relate to somewhat. I don't know, like you might say that he's a well-developed character, but I wouldn't say that makes him the best.
I think he's the best because he's the most faceted. Like I tried to think of all the other characters who wear green that could qualify for this, and I think like Merida, she wears green, but she's not really that great of a character overall. I thought of like anyone else who wore green, like the Grasshopper, who's just kooky, but I think Mike has the most depth and the most humorous scenes. Like the scene where, you know, at the end in the bloopers where they're singing put the musical of "Put the thing back where I came from, or so help me," and they actually make it a musical, is hilarious. Every scene that Mike's in is usually resulting in humor, either at his expense or because of his jokes. And both ways is great when you can have a character that can do both of those things. We're discussed. I don't know. She's just there. She's just another one of the emotions that is just in the background. She's not as over the top as Lewis Black. She's not as, you know, as faceted as sadness or joy. She's just there.
Okay. All right, Jacob.
Gave it short and brief. I'm going to vote for Erin this time.
Okay, we got one for Erin. Tiki.
Yeah, I think it was close. I think Erin absolutely definitely stepped up her game. For sure. You know what? I think I am gonna go for Erin just because I feel like there was like an underdog factor and just the fact that like you know, it was like a side character versus a main character, and I really appreciated the point about the side characters. So I will go Erin.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, I was very much Team Erin, but I'm kind of begrudgingly going with Lazerdude. Again, it doesn't really matter at this juncture, but honestly, because
I was split, Dragon. I was split. I'll admit it.
For me, it's like initially I was firmly on Erin's side because initially I think Lazerdude left like a lot of money on the table in terms of Monsters University, but then eventually he found that point. I don't know, but my biggest problem with Lazerdude is that he was very repetitive with all the Mike Wazowski stuff, but eventually he was kind of digging himself out of that hole. So I think that's ultimately where I go on that. Plus, I think I don't know for Erin though. I think Erin went out of the objective and more into the the relatability to discuss, which I don't think really helped her argument. But again, she got the point. So
I actually think that kind of helped because for me it helped. You know, because it helped. Like Inside Out is a very personal movie for people. And, you know, most people usually attach themselves to joy or sadness for good reason, but I think it was actually pretty unique to her argument that
well, yeah, but this is like best green character though.
No, I know, I realize that. Anyways.
Anyway, okay, so Erin's got one on the board. Lazerdude, Bubkiss, Zippola, 0. The bagel from Everything Everywhere All at Once. All right.
No, that had everything.
Yet
Yeah.
somehow nothing.
Put everything on a bagel. That is literally the joke, man.
All right.
Still a 0. Okay. Jacob. Did someone say the secret word?
Let me relive my memory. I'm rewinding the tape, checking the databanks.
Someone play the harp.
And results are negative.
Oh no. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. Let's see. So that brings us to round number 3. Who is the best Walt-era Disney villain? But before we proceed, Tiki, was there anything in the comments we should mention about the previous round before we're pressing on?
Okay, let's see. Z and K says, I can see why neither of you picked Rex. He doesn't like confrontation. I will say Rex probably, if I was in this debate, probably would have been my choice.
You got Rex and you got Heimlich the Caterpillar. They were green options.
Oh, Heimlich's a good one, too. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
We all know what Dragon would have picked.
Who?
Buzz
Peach
Lightyear.
Dragon.
Dragon with Buzz Lightyear counted.
I
don't
gotta
think
be
Buzz
honest.
Lightyear
My
counted.
gut instinct was yes, but upon further
I don't think
reflection,
so.
I'm getting there, Tiki.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, my gut reaction is yes, but then when upon further reflection, it's like, well, Buzz Lightyear is kind of a combination of three colors.
Right.
It's the green, it's the purple, and it's the white. So I don't. My instinct was probably green, but yeah, I think ultimately you're probably right.
No, he counts, but only the version of him in the dark.
Okay, then then Dragon, what would have been your pick?
Way to put a guy on the spot. Honestly,
I mean, would it be
Mike
Peach
Wazowski
Dragon?
or Rex? No, Pixar character, Lazerdude. Pixar character.
Oh right, I always forget that.
Like I said, my picks were honestly Mike Wazowski or Disgust.
I'd probably go Mike Wazowski or Rex honestly. So
I think y'all are sleeping on Arlo.
Yeah, I don't think
I'd be
anybody.
impressed if someone. I would have respected the heck out of anyone who picked Arlo. You know what, man? Way to go.
I don't think really anybody's sleeping on Arlo.
I know.
Oh, Arlo! Oh my gosh, no!
A real
That is the worst
debater-
Pixar movie of all time.
I know, Lazerdude. I know.
A real debater worth their salt, though. They can make an argument for Arlo.
I actually think a solid
I can't
argument
argue
can be made for
opinions that
Chick
I don't
Hicks.
agree with.
I think Chick Hicks is like the ultimate, like, lovable Pixar jerk.
Plus, he's got a mustache. He's got a car mustache.
Anyways,
He got
all
all
right.
of his pit crew to get that.
And he's voiced by Michael Keaton, so there's
Yes.
So he has that
Anyway,
going for
moving
him.
on from the Keat. All right, number 3. Who is the best Walt-era villain? Disney villain. Lazerdude.
Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil is my pick.
Don't try and sway the judges with singing. All right,
For my own pleasure, it's not for you.
Oh.
Erin. say
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
The queen, the mistress of evil.
All right. Okay, so these are 2 real evil ladies. Lazerdude. Opening.
Well, when it comes to the most evil act, no matter who you put up against, there's nothing more evil than a woman who wants to slaughter puppies. That right there gives you the pedigree for the most evil Disney or just villain in general. Because I don't think outside of 101 Dalmatians there's any other thing that's like, I just want to kill dogs. No, and it's terrible. It's terrible. And her reason for it is fashion. And but it's not a weak read. It makes sense for her character. She is so into fashion and looks and stuff, which is great because by the end of the movie, you see what a terrible monster she is with her eyes bulging out. She also has the perfect tone for villainy. Her laugh, her over the top, like evil laugh is perfect for a character like this. She smokes everywhere she goes. Whenever she enters a room, her like evil follows her in the shape of her smoke and everything. The voice actress who plays her does such a good job making this woman the most hateable Disney villain, but she's also fun. She's the woman that has been played by 2 different people in live action because the character was so iconic. And this is one of the like 101 Dalmatians is based on a book or something. I can't remember what, but it was the character that was made by Walt Disney into one of the big ones, and without being a big fantasy thing. That's why Cruella de Vil for me is the best. It's got every aspect that you would want, and it's a villain that you want more than anything to see them fall.
Small correction. 3 to 4 times in live action, but let's not split hairs.
It was meaning actresses.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it's just Glenn Close and Emma Stone, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
and there's 2 TV portrayals, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know about those. Anyway. Continue.
Okay. Erin.
Wait, were both of those from Once Upon a Time?
No, one was from Once Upon a Time, and one was from that sorry, not this channel. The one that was
Descendants, right?
Descendants.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I totally forgot about those.
Okay.
Yeah, Descendants was the other. Yeah, okay. Erin.
All right. So whenever I think of Disney villains, regardless of era, I think of Maleficent. I think she is the quintessential villain. She is dressed all in black. She has horns on her head. She can turn into a dragon. She has a pet raven. They call her the mistress of evil. She sweeps into a room and everyone is afraid of her. She is mad that she didn't get invited to a party, and so she curses the the person that the party is for. She just is pure evil, and and her, I think, relevance kind of speaks to that as well. She's the main character after Mickey Mouse in Fantasmic. She continues to be relevant. There's live action movies featuring her as, exploring her story. I just think that she just is sort of evil personified. And that's why she's the best Walt-era Disney villain. And I would say the best Disney villain, period.
All right. Let's fight it out. Femme fatales turned against each other. The bloodshed rain with words.
I mean, I think the biggest problem with Maleficent is her motivation and her method of dealing out her revenge is so ridiculous. I didn't get invited to a party, so I'm going to kill your daughter, but not now. In 16 years, if she pricks her finger on a flippin' spinning wheel. Like, it's the weirdest motivation and the craziest way to kill somebody ever. You have magic. You're there. None of these people can stop you. Just kill her right there. What's stopping you?
She loves the drama. And because in a lot of ways, worse than just like killing someone right there, then they're, suffering and then it's over. But now they're waiting 16 years and they're ruining their daughter's life trying to protect her from this curse that's going to happen. And they still don't manage to do it. They manage to make it so that she doesn't die, but they still, don't manage to succeed. Something I want to point out, you were saying that like one of the reasons why Cruella is the worst villain is because she's slaughtering animals. I kind of feel like killing people is worse than killing animals. Not to say that killing animals is good.
Yes, no. I look. In reality, I agree with you with this statement. A human life is more valuable than the life of an animal. Absolutely, I agree with that statement. But I was watching American Psycho the other day, and my wife and I literally saw the guy stab a person, and we didn't react, and then he killed the dog, and we're like, and that's just the human reaction. And kids are that times 1,000. We are afraid for puppies because they're so cute and innocent. And her just wanting to annihilate them goes on a rant on if you could hit them on the head with a club, you could bash their skulls in, you could gut any chloroform to put them to sleep and die in their sleep. Like, she doesn't care. She does not give one F about any of that. She just wants what she wants, and she will do anything. And she's so unapologetically evil, where I feel like Maleficence is a little bit more like, nice, I'll give you a chance. It's like, sure, I could just do like my big dragon magic and just burn Aurora alive, but now I'll just let her sleep in this castle and defend it. It's a little less intense as somebody like Cruella de Vil, who's willing to let all these puppies die just for a coat. And that's why I think the simple motivation for Cruella works better, is because it's for something superfluous, but you could see somebody wanting that and going that far for something so silly. And where Maleficent, it feels like it's overkill for just not being invited back. In any case, though, I feel like Cruella is the one that kids were afraid of catching the heroes more.
I think that the like over the top reaction is part of what makes Maleficent so scary, though. You have to be afraid of her because if you cross her at all, she's coming after you with her spells and she's going to turn into a dragon. Whereas Cruella de Vil, like, she has her thing that she wants, but it's very focused. And if you're not in the way of that, it's like, it's not that scary.
Problem is, though, Maleficent is kind of like in a different, it almost feels like it's two different films stitched together, because like she doesn't have any big rivalry with the prince who has to defeat her by the end. It's not like they've built up a rapport or anything. She was captured and then released and then stabs her, where here the puppies are constantly trying to hide from her, like the scene in the barn and where they're trying to hide, and then the scene where she's like driving her car down and looking at them, and they have to try to disguise themselves in order to get free. She's constantly hunting after them, so you feel like there's threat, there's the danger, where it's just like, I don't even know the prince all that much less feel like there's that much of a chemistry of a hero villain chemistry in this movie. Like there's barely enough buildup for that. And so I feel like that makes her less interesting, because you don't feel like she's actively coming after you in that sort of sense, and the terror that comes with it.
Well, I think it's, that she's so scary that it doesn't matter. Like you don't need a personal reason to be going after her. And it's actually interesting. She is the only Disney villain during Walt Disney's lifetime that was deliberately and directly killed by one of the heroes. All of the other villains end up dying like because of something that they did or like some accident. But Walt Disney and the storytellers felt like she was evil enough that, it's okay. We can have the prince kill her, like directly kill her. We don't need her to fall down and have an accident or anything. She's scary and evil enough that we can directly kill her, and that is going to be accepted by the audience.
Yeah, but then she has all this like charm and everything. Then she just turns into a mindless dragon. And sure, I'm sure it scares little kitties, but she loses that like, oh, now she's just a beast. And that's why they were able to kill her, because now she's just a mindless beast. And that's why they can they wouldn't actually kill her if she was still Maleficent as she was and stabbing a woman. They wouldn't do that. But now that she's a big old dragon, they can do that. Where Cruella de Vil, she gets crazy too by the film, but she's still herself, and her eyes get red and her car gets more destroyed, and she looks more and more manic throughout the stories, but she stays who she is. She doesn't have to rely on being turned into some gigantic beast in order to be threatening.
I don't think that Maleficent has to turn into a beast to be threatening. She's threatening anyways. The cape, the raven, the horns, she's scary regardless.
Yeah, but I don't really feel like the hunt is on like it is for like Cruella de Vil. Like you still have her bumbling henchmen and stuff. Whenever you see them, you don't really feel the threat. But whenever Cruella is driving by and like the droplets start to go on the puppies and their disguises start to fall off, you're like, oh no, she's gonna kill them, and you feel the threat from this woman. She may be frail, she may be doesn't look all that tough, but she's the most threatening thing in the film.
Yeah, I think that speaks more, though, to the fact that, like, the Dalmatians are a better character than the prince, maybe. It doesn't have as much to do with Cruella being a better villain or a scarier villain. It's just
because a chemistry between the heroes and villain is important to making a better villain. Magneto wouldn't be nearly as interesting if he didn't have the relationship with Charles Xavier, and I feel like that sort of hero villain mentality that was built up from the moment she stepped into the room, and Purdy ran away because she was afraid that she was going to get a hold of her puppies, and Pongo growled at her like he was ready to bite her. He's like, don't you come near me or my family. From the very beginning, that was built up and spread throughout the whole movie, where Aurora doesn't even know she's under threat from Maleficent until it's like already too late and she's already touched the wheel and then she's asleep.
Yeah, but I think that what is so scary about Maleficent is that she is a threat to everybody. Like, she is scary, period. She is, comes in and everyone is scared of her, even though she's not doing anything to most of the people, but it's still, she's scary. She has a presence about her that I think is, important and is part of what makes her such a good villain.
Okay. Tiki.
All right. Yeah, we went from total slaughter to really, relatively tight race to, man, this was like a knockout, like back and forth. This was really close, guys. I think both of you did fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I will say my point's going to go to Erin just because I think she made 2 points in particular that were really critical that I really respected. One of them is the fact that it's like Maleficent is the only character that the hero has directly killed. Like I haven't even thought about that. So that's a really interesting observation there. That really does go to show like kind of like her iconic evil status. And then the other point that I really thought was like a kill shot as far as kind of like softening a lot of Lazerdude's arguments is the fact that what Lazerdude was arguing was more so the strength of the Dalmatians versus the strength of Prince Philip as a character, which ultimately isn't what the question was about. So, Lazerdude, I think you made a really good effort here. I think it was a really strong argument, but I ultimately think that Erin had a couple more knockout points on her end. So, my point goes to her.
I'm going to cast my vote for Lazerdude. So, gotta be honest, I think Erin did show great improvement. It's just, I think, at the end of the day, despite her kind of responses and counterpoints, counter arguments to Lazerdudes, I did just hear a lot of Maleficent looks scary, and I did find the whole I did love Aaron's point about killing people is worse than killing an animal, and then just getting into that whole semantical thing. That was again Lazy bringing back the whole it was all for a coat though. I don't know, Lazy really brought me back. I think his big counterpoint is that Aurora's like asleep for half the movie. She doesn't even know that she's being gunned for, and by the time she does, it's like, oh, I'm trapped in a castle during a stormy night. It seems. Yeah, so I'm gonna by a very narrow margin. I'm going Lazerdude. So Jacob, break the tie.
All right, time to cue the deliberation.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's new music too from last time.
Yes.
All right. This is definitely a tough decision. You guys were like on equal footing throughout the majority of it. It's like when one way you're leaning one way one moment, and the next way you're leaning another. It's very good offense and defense from both of you. For both of you guys. I gotta admit on that. When it comes down to the actual strength of argument, I think that the final blow was ultimately dealt by Erin. Like, I think Erin later points out stronger, like had more reasons as to why Maleficent was a greater villain, like especially compared to someone like Cruella de Vil, who was also a pretty big heavyweight in that regard. Like, there's a reason why she's the mistress of all evil, and even the main Disney villain in the Kingdom Hearts games. Like, she's just that iconic. But even beyond that, I still think that Erin laid out the strongest argument when it came to everything, and although considering the whole bumbling henchman point, you could have pointed out that Jasper and Horace are the bumbling henchmen.
Right.
It's like they're the bumbling henchmen, like the most famous bumbling henchmen in Disney history. We still love them though. Don't get me wrong. But my point still goes to Erin. So.
All right, so that means she's got 2 on the board. Lazerdude has nada. He's got nothing.
Yet.
Well, technically, you did have something, and then you lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I never
credit where
flipped
credit's
the coin.
due.
He spent his $1 on a soda. All right, so
I mean, you could have passed it on to her and she wouldn't have lost anything.
That's true.
all right.
All right.
Yeah, but Lazer's feeling really good about himself right now.
Okay, it's time for the comeback. I was down the last debate too.
Yeah, we'll see.
It wasn't this far down, but I was down last debate and I still came out on top.
Yeah, keep in mind, Erin, I can speak from personal experience here, and I know I've said this before a lot, but you can be completely down in the main round, but then can turn around to win the game from the speed round.
Before I ask Jacob if the word was said, I do want to present you both a little gift because you both have played your little hearts out. Who wants some O'Munson money? Yes, it's the optional coin feature here, so you both have an opportunity yet again.
Can I just
to
ask what
flip.
I'll flip.
Can I ask what O'Munson?
Yeah, Lazerdude, you might as well. You've literally got nothing to lose.
What is O'Munson, by the way?
Timothy O'Munson.
Oh, all
right. So, Lazerdude.
Ooh.
Did he say yes?
Yay!
He said yes. Okay, he gets a point.
It's 2-1.
Erin.
I'm going to pass.
All right.
All right.
Let's flip it to see what would have happened.
Okay. Ooh.
No.
Oh, she would have gotten a 3rd point.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
now she declined, so that point goes to me, right? Is
Nope.
that how
No.
it works?
No. Just the glum. Only the glum gold, my friend.
I know.
We already used, so no.
Nice Nice try, Lazerdude.
I know.
But first things first.
Yeah.
I think I shall inform you guys about the word. And it wasn't said.
Mm.
Thank you.
And where Dragon builds up, I just build up to an anticlimax.
Well, let's just say, folks, I have a strong feeling the word's going to be said.
It did come close.
I know, right? Yeah, it's been going up to the wire. They've been looking at that. They don't know the blades on the other side of that trip line. They don't know yet.
There was a connection between the two of those, between the two of the previous picks that we chose as one of our words. That honestly, I'm surprised didn't get said at all.
I'm very shocked, honestly. I mean, I could gild the lily a little bit on it, but where's the sport in that? Okay.
But if you guys don't say the words, we will reveal what they are at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, again, we are now entering the speed round. I'll remind you folks, lovely folks in the audience, we are taking audience speed round questions. So if you want to pose any speed round questions, we'd be inclined to use them. Just keep them Disney related, would you? And we will pose them to our players, and you will decide. You, the audience member who submitted the question, will decide who made the better argument and gets the point.
Woohoo!
Now, the way the speed round works is basically you will whoever speaks first will go first. It'll be a 30-second. You'll have 30 seconds on the clock, followed by a 15-second rebuttal. So it goes back and forth. So 30, then your opponent gets 30, then you get 15, then they get 15. That's how that works. Then basically it's not going to be a 3-prong judge thing all the time. Maybe if it comes down to it's the last point of the game. But let's just say traditionally it'll be kind of all over the place of who gets to judge it. So. Do you understand these rules? I've explained them to you both here this evening.
Yes.
Good. Just making sure. Okay. Brings us to speed round question number 1. As per tradition, we got to have a Muppet question. We love those little guys.
It's basically a tradition.
Yes. Okay. Just because there's some Oscar buzz in the air, we got to kind of frame a few like these. Best designed Muppet.
Ooh, best designed.
Of course, the exclusion being no Sesame Street characters. Best designed.
Got it.
I know my answer, but I'm not competing, so I'm not going to say what it is.
Yep.
It's kind of, my brain's going, do I go iconic or do I go, complex?
I actually have the same dilemma when I was thinking about
I have
mine.
some advice. Go with the one that's going to win.
But I don't know that yet.
Funny thing, Lazerdude, I pretty much had the same thing in mind when I was deciding mine. And for both of you, keep remember, it's for these kinds of questions, it's the first one to speak is the first one to go.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
I'm
I
gonna
have
go
mine.
with Gonzo.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Well, Lazerdude. Oh, he said it. Lazerdude's going with Gonzo.
Erin?
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go Beaker.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Go on.
When it comes to the Muppets, I think iconicness is the key to these characters lasting as long as they have. We've had a whole bunch of complex ones, but not all of them have lasted the test of time. I think Gonzo is one of the best iconic ones. His hook nose automatically makes him instantly recognizable. If you put a silhouette of Gonzo up, everyone would know who you're talking about. The design of his blue feather, it makes him a little bit like, what is he? Is he a bird? Is he that unknown factor also adds to the character? It makes him super iconic and just great design.
Erin, time for your 30 seconds whenever you're ready.
All right. So I think that Beaker also has an iconic design, and he is someone that isn't, I would say he's not one of the main Muppets, but he is still so easily identified by the crazy red hair, the nose, the lab coat. I just think that people recognize who he is, even though he is not in as many of the Muppet things. Gonzo is always in. He's like one of the main ones. He's always in the various Muppet things. Beaker isn't always, but I still think he's recognizable, which speaks to the design.
Beaker's design is a couple of ping pong balls on a pool noodle. I mean, I could make that sort of thing. It's fine. It's not as iconic as something like Gonzo is. I feel like Beaker's is just another wacky Muppet design that they probably had floating around, and they just threw a coat on him and called it a day.
I think that the simplicity of Beaker is what is so great about him, that it doesn't have to be anything fancy to still be iconic and memorable.
All right, Jacob, you call this one, buddy.
Huh. This is a tough one. It's like I honestly do like both of these picks, but I think in terms of the strength of argument and the fact that simply more was said in regards to it, I'm gonna have to go with Lazerdude and Gonzo.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good argument though.
It was a good argument, but
And Aaron, I respect that you're standing up for the side characters. I like that. That's kind of part of your strategy.
Honestly, I would have voted for Erin. I would have given Erin the point, but that's why.
I know, but I kind of wish I just heard more from her. That's what she didn't utilize the whole 15 seconds, and I still think Lazerdude said more in defense and attack.
Okay.
And my pick would have been Uncle Deadly, by the way.
Well, of course.
My pick would have been Sam Eagle.
I was thinking Sweetums might have been my other one, just because of how much moving parts are in that.
Has anybody seen a bunny?
I felt like I'd have an easier time arguing for Gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so Jacob, any words said?
Nope.
Okay. All right, let's see. All right, Jacob, should we go with the topical one for the thing we're going to talk about tomorrow? Should we go with the Pixar question? Should we go with the MCU question?
Actually, I think we should go for the topical one, just so we can get some free advertising out there.
Okay, so folks, in case any are not aware, tomorrow we are we're talking Ted Lasso seasons 1 and 2, and we have a poll up there currently. We'd like you all to vote, and if anyone is a Ted Lasso fan out there is eager to see what we're going to say about it, that we are looking to see if we should do season 3 episode by episode in our recaps, or just wait till it's all done and talk about it all in one podcast, basically like we're doing with seasons 1 and 2. All right, so remember that. Anyway, so in the spirit of the upcoming Ted Lasso coverage, which unqualified Disney character should coach professional UK football, aka soccer?
I love how specific this question is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Trying to think. Do we know? Was it specifically Disney character? What was the?
Yeah, Disney character. Let's say not licensed. It can't be an MCU character, for example.
As long as it's
Right.
Like Disney or Pixar.
But
yeah, let's say Disney or Pixar.
Okay, I just want to know where my limitations are.
Basically, as long as it falls under the Disney banner.
I'm trying to think if any of them has if we have actually seen anybody play soccer in a Disney movie.
I'm trying to think of someone athletic.
Remember the point of the question.
It is unqualified. Then again, if you've never seen anyone play soccer, by definition,
did you say, was it who is qualified or is not
qualified? Unqualified. Which unqualified Disney character?
Okay, so we want to choose somebody who would be bad.
They only need to coach, by the way, too. They don't necessarily have to play it; they just have to coach.
Perhaps you might give a very brief elevator pitch about Ted Lasso, just to kind of explain what you're looking for.
Okay, for anyone who's not aware, Ted Lasso, the concept is you have an American football coach who essentially is hired to coach football in England, but football in England is soccer, so he's completely unqualified. as a coach. Basically, it's out of spite, but I'm getting all the semantics of why he's
But essentially, you're looking
show.
for like I'm thinking kind of like the question kind of boils down to like a fish out of water quality.
Yeah, basically, yes.
I guess I'm just trying to think. Are we trying to find a good coach that might not be qualified but still would be good?
It doesn't matter.
That's the thing. It can be whatever you want, just as long as they're unqualified.
I'm gonna go with the genie.
Ooh, God.
Okay. We'll see how that goes for.
The genie always traditionally gets mixed into these kind of questions.
There, Aaron's got the genie from the lamp.
Lazerdude.
What's the Canadian say?
That's all you call them. The Canadian.
I had an idea, but now I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna choose. Oh no, he'd make a better player.
Think carefully now.
I'm gonna choose Elastigirl.
Okay, Elastigirl.
Okay.
All right.
Erin, you're up first whenever you're ready.
All right, so I think the genie just has the energy that you would want in a coach. I can just imagine him. I can imagine him like zipping up and down the sideline, yelling at people, having someone like doing drills, like yelling in their ear, like "You could go faster than that," and just like having all of these crazy drills, kind of a la the scene in the cave with Aladdin during "You've Got a Friend in Me." I just think that like that is the fish out of water energy that you want in someone that's going to be coaching your soccer team.
Helen has a very big family, so she knows how to handle a large group dynamic, and she's been on superhero groups before, so she knows how to work as a team. She knows how to get a team working together. She got her family, like when they were in a crisis situation on a plane, she knew how to instantly react. I think that would be perfect for a coach, how to have instant decisions and know how to make plays quick on the fly. I think also for the fact she's just a great leader. She's someone that everyone would trust to have their hands in, and I think her stretchability would come in handy when needed in the game.
Oh, should I just go?
Yeah, when you're ready, Aaron. That's when the clock starts.
Sorry, I was waiting for okay, go. I think Elastigirl is a leader. I just don't feel like she has the same energy. Like I think that the genie just is going to be able to zip up and down the sideline in a way that she's not going to be able to. I'm not entirely sure how the stretching would help. I guess.
Stretching would help in ways where she could like have the characters like shoot the balls at her and she could launch them back at them and they could do that. But I think the problem with the genie is he's going to get distracted. The genie as a character basically has ADD where he's going to be like, all right, let's kick the ball. And, oh, what's that over there? Or he's going to be the whole team himself, in which case you don't even need a coach.
All right. I know where I'm leaning on this. I know, but I want to see what Tiki has to say on this one. Tiki, you get to call this one, buddy.
All right. Well, first of all, it never fails. I'm always amused whenever the genie gets brought into it. Inevitably, the argument against him is like, he's too hyperactive. He's too OCD. You know what? I'm leaning towards Erin just because I think it's close, but I think Erin captured the fish out of water quality for me. Like, I feel like Helen both kicks ass and is a soccer mom, so like I think she's super qualified.
Tiki?
What?
I'm sorry, you're Tiki, who is it? Tiki, remind me, so you're saying that in favor of the genie, right?
No, I'm saying that in favor of Erin. Just because I'm voting Erin based on the strength of the fish out of water qualities, the underqualified stuff, the unqualified stuff. I think Helen Parr is actually overqualified.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure about. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so that means so Erin gets the point then. So it's 3-2.
Woohoo!
Right.
Okay.
And
All right.
so far, no one has said any of the words.
All right, Tiki, do you see any good questions in the comments yet?
So
Be
far,
honest, are there any good ones?
the only one is Priest left a question, but he also went to bed, so we would have to judge it.
Oh, no, it's not. I guess he's not here. What's the,
Z and K is in the chat. He's been active in the chat. So Z and K, Sonia, if you have a question, either of you, that'd be cool. Anyone watching?
Right. Okay, we'll go with another one in the meantime then.
Okay.
All right.
Lay it on us, Dragon.
All right, let's go with okay, you want to go with the topical MCU question or the Pixar question?
Let's go with Pixar.
Okay. Again, Oscars on the brains, and also congratulations to Del Toro for his win, but also his excellent speech upon receiving the Oscar. So,
and funnily enough, Pixar is actually doing a show based on softball. So
yes,
they're
So-
doing a sports series themselves.
Boots was
So
robbed.
okay, so which Pixar film besides Up and Toy Story 3 should have been nominated for Best Picture? Not Best Animated Picture, Best Picture.
there's a lot of good ones you could choose here.
There is a lot of good ones. I know what my instant Inside Out.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
That's why you got to speak up sooner, Aaron.
You had ample opportunity to steal, Aaron. I don't know what to tell you.
I know.
But keep in mind there are plenty of other ones that could very easily help you.
I'm honestly trying to think of like a year that was weak for Best Picture contenders.
Well, they don't have to have won to. You just need to be nominated.
Yeah, I feel like that's like taking it too far because now we got to know every single year that every Oscar was. nominated.
No, I know. I'm just a nerd like that. I know. Trust me, I know most of the Best Picture nominees. But anyways,
Anyway.
Right,
I do too, but I'm terrible with years. Like I don't know what year anything came out unless it's like a very.
and of course with the
important time in my
Oscars,
life.
it's always 1 year behind. Anyways,
Yeah, like technically Inside Out. I guess.
all right. Anyways.
Aaron,
Aaron, we're rapidly aging right now. Can you give?
Sorry, I'll go with Onward.
Okay,
Oh.
Onward.
Ooh, wow, outside the box pick.
All right, afterwards we'll share what ours might have been. All right.
Okay.
Lazerdude, whenever you're ready.
Inside Out is the personal journey of a young girl who is going through a struggling move and going through a lot of changes in herself. And it perfectly encapsulates that, not just on the outside world, but also inside of her head. She doesn't have joy in her life and she loses sadness as well. And it gets her not able to feel things. And the movie amplifies what the importance of sadness is. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel the tears coming down your face. We shouldn't hide it. We should embrace it. And that movie like that has such a powerful message should always be nominated for Best Picture.
All right, so Onward tells the story of two brothers that lost their father and their kind of search to bring him back and coping with the grief. And so I think that deals with those deep emotions that nominated movies should. I also think on more of a aesthetic level, the art style is pretty unique. The characters are unique looking, and it just gives it that kind of extra spark that lifts it above other movies, in addition to having the deep emotion.
Onward has a good ending, but everything else in the movie is pretty straightforward. You know, it's a journey that the characters go through. A kid doesn't think he can do it, but his brother is the inspiration. There's not really a lot of creative stuff. I was really looking to see some creative stuff in this modern fantasy world, but it really isn't a lot there.
I think in Onward, the relationship between the two brothers is really interesting, and the difficulty of it and how people deal with loss differently. And it's just an important thing.
I got to use those 5 seconds there.
I
Well, you don't
know.
have to, but I'm just,
No, I know.
Sometimes it can be a power move to just be like mic drop. I don't need those 5
Yeah,
seconds.
that clearly wasn't a power move.
I know.
But it's true, and I mean, heck, some people have just won based on just going like, "I'm a little teapot, short."
That's true. That's true.
Still disagree with that ruling, but we're gonna move on. Okay. So
I know specifically when that had what the circumstance behind that one was, Dragon. I think you'd honestly agree with it in that case.
All right. Anyways.
anyway, I gotta admit, this one I'll judge this one. This one's close. Well, it's close. Maybe not in the best of ways. It's close in the. I think here's the thing. I think Lazerdude made kind of miscalculation in his opening statement. He basically told me all about the movie, and at the very end of his opening, he says, "And that's why it should be nominated for Best Picture." It's like you kind of should have led with that a little earlier. I think Aaron got to the point a lot faster with that. Lazerdude's counterpoint was had a really good ending, and then of course they said, "Well, it could have been more creative." I don't know. I think however. By saying that, Erin did not have Bubkiss against Inside Out, though. She did not lob a single point against that movie, as far as I could tell, as far as I could see. I think it was kind of sloppy in execution, but I think I'm gonna give the point to Lazerdude.
All right.
Yeah, I really respect Onward as a pick, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a great pick. I just wish the
yeah.
execution was a little,
And I will say the thing I was saying about not being a strong year for nominees. Onward came out in 2020, y'all. That was not a strong year for movies just in general. So
basically,
Yeah, I didn't do it. Top 10 movies of the year.
a memorably not strong year for movies.
It basically, remember, Onward basically came out the week before the pandemic hit.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Jacob, I remember. It was the last movie I saw in theaters, 3 days before
Me
the
too.
shutdown.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Were you on your trip during?
Yes, it was. I saw
Yeah.
Onward a couple hours before I went to the airport.
Yet again, the curse strikes
I know.
again. All right.
I was thinking of saying The Incredibles, but I feel like it's too much action superhero movie to be really considered for Best Picture.
I honestly think Toy Story is the right answer here. The original Toy Story.
The animation doesn't hold up, though.
I understand that, but it's just it's groundbreaking, and the story certainly.
It was the
holds up.
defiant ones of the '90s.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Anyways.
one of my go-tos would have been Ratatouille.
Ratatouille's good, except 2007 again with my rules. 2007
Well, again,
is
forget your
an
rules. Throw
exceptionally
your rules out.
strong year.
Put your rules in the windowsill, man. I don't want to see them.
Well, please, if Ratatouille was nominated, probably would have been one of the stronger contestants in that category.
Okay. Anyway, so we're
And
tied.
besides, I think would have been probably been Wally if it couldn't pick Ratatouille.
Oh, Wally might have been a really good one.
No, Wally was 2008.
Yeah,
Ratatouille was 2007.
Yeah, we know, but I'm saying my pick would have been 2000. My pick would have been Wally.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
Nikki,
3-3.
nobody else is doing the rules the way you were doing it.
So it's 3-3 right now. Jacob, did anyone say the word?
I wish I could say yes, Dragon, but unfortunately, nobody said the word.
So I was really hoping you were going to kind of do a double fake out there, but that did not happen. So we're just going to move
I
on.
wish I could say yes, but yes.
Okay.
I was saving it, Lazerdude.
All right. Okay, here's a question of position here. I'm gonna give you guys a perspective, and you're basically it's gonna be kind of a yay or nay thing. Okay, so versus yes or no. Okay, it's like a quick draw, and you're arguing perspective instead of picking between two things.
All right.
All right.
Basically, a quick draw.
Yeah. So basically, and after I finish the question, whoever says yes or no first will get that as their answer. Should the MCU cut back on sequel/franchising, aka, all the movies and the Disney Plus stuff?
Yes.
No.
Okay. All right, Lazerdude.
Oh yeah.
Yes. This is
Y'all, I think. All right, I'm not.
You can thank Bob Iger for.
I know. Bombs
Okay.
running his mouth, Dragon.
Anyway, well, he's not wrong for saying something. I just wish he said maybe something a little bit more correct.
All right. Anyways,
Anyway, Lazerdude, whenever you're ready, tell us why they should cut back.
Well, Marvel has had the big problem. When you do the big event that they've been leading up to with, Endgame, what do you do after? And it's a thing where you try to oversell. They've been putting every single minor character out there. And what does that mean they're doing? There's not enough talent to go around to make sure that this franchise is getting the quality. It's now quantity over quality right now. And they need to stop, pull back, and just really go through what are the key things that we need for this franchise. Let's not drown ourselves here.
So I don't think that they need to cut back, because I think some of the things you specifically mentioned Disney Plus, and I think some of the things that they've put out on Disney Plus have been some of the best things. And I think it is a way to get more people into the franchise. Maybe if they haven't started from the beginning with all of the Marvel movies, all of the things like WandaVision and Loki, all of that is accessible at home, so people can get into it, get to know the characters, and then they are interested in going out to see the movies when they are coming out in theaters.
If you are a new person coming to this franchise, you cannot start anywhere. You cannot start with Disney Plus, because then you'll be completely lost. WandaVision leads directly into Doctor Strange now. The TV shows and everything are all interconnected. There's too much. You need to cut back.
I think that they have gotten to a point where there's so much that you don't have to consume everything, that you can take the pieces that you want and you just take each one as its own story. You don't have to see every single thing that is put out, and so you can pick and choose the characters that you're interested in.
Jacob, call it.
All right. You guys do make interesting points with this one. I mean, what Lazerdude's obviously arguing for the superhero excess and everything, and spreading themselves too thin. But then again, Erin did mention that that it's not entirely essential that you have to watch absolutely everything. I mean, your mileage may vary on that, but I still think I still know some people, other people that do have that argument. And honestly, I think in terms of the arguments and everything that was lobbied, I'll have to go with Erin on this.
Interesting. Okay. It's 3-4.
yeah, that would have been my vote as well. I don't think she picked the popular answer, but I do think she used a lot of logic, like financial logic, and as far as engagement with Disney Plus and everything. So, all right.
Staying on brand, sticking up for the side characters here.
So, Erin, you get this next point. You can take this whole thing home.
Yep.
All right, let's see.
Still, and still no word.
Tiki, you're not seeing any questions, are you? Because I don't see any myself.
Nope.
Just
I
making
mean, we
sure.
could do the theme park priest one.
Well, what was it any good?
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Do you think we should do it?
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
It's classic Disney. I think it fits with this debate.
Okay, put it on the screen.
All right. Best Disney princess role model for girls.
Moana.
Ooh.
I didn't hear what Lazerdude was.
I said Mulan.
Okay.
Well, wait a
Disney
minute.
Princess is a brand, and Mulan is part of that brand.
I don't know about that. She's not.
Yeah, she is part of the brand, Dragon,
technically
and she
part
is
of the Disney
inspirational. Yeah, I
brand.
think
But where's
she
the
counts.
line come down on that, though, Tiki?
That's not for us to
The
decide.
line comes
That's
down
for
to
Disney to
the
decide.
literal lineup, and she's in the lineup, Dragon.
She's part of the. She is considered part of
I
the
mean,
lineup.
if you're going by that logic, Moana is not even a princess. She's the
She was
chief's
in that.
daughter.
She was in that freaking Ralph Breaks the Internet scene.
Are you sure she was in that scene?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
I'm just
Alright.
saying, like, if you discount Mulan, like, she's the chief's. Moana's the chief's daughter. So
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point.
What I'm saying, Moana's literally
They
a descendant.
go out of their
though.
way saying she's not a princess.
Dragon, come on. Seriously.
No,
Lazerdude chose Mulan. What is Erin choosing?
well, Erin chose
Moana.
Moana.
Yeah, I heard
Alright.
her say Moana. Yeah.
I didn't hear Moana. I'm sorry.
We did pick similar sounding princesses.
Yeah.
You did. At first, I thought it was a tie.
Yeah, and that's why I thought. That's why I thought she also said Moana or Mulan.
All right, fine.
Well, that means you get to call this one, Dragon, or you get. I guess you decide who calls this one.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that means
Aaron, you're going. Well, wait. So Aaron's going first, right?
I think I heard Aaron first.
Yeah, I think we heard. We had the whole deliberation. Okay. So yeah, let's.
All right. So Moana is the daughter of the chief of the island, and she has very strong ties to what her family wants her to do, but she also realizes that that is not what she is called to do. And so she is a good role model because she is thinking about her family and thinking about others, but she ultimately looks within her heart and does the thing that is right for her, even if it's not what's right for the rest of the people around her. And that ultimately is what is her strength, and it's what ends up saving her family and her tribe at the end of the movie.
Mulan is the most selfless Disney character of all time. She sacrificed everything to save her father. She didn't want to go to war. This wasn't a hidden desire of her. She was perfectly accepted the fact that she was going to be a match made for somebody else. But she went to war to save her father. The completely selfless decision that she made. All the other Disney princesses and stuff, they still have a little bit of selfishness, but she had no idea that this was going to be something she was even going to be good at. She did it only to save her father.
I would say that one of the arguments against Mulan being a good role model is the love interest and the way that all of that ends up working out. It's fine, but too much of her story ends up being about the guy in the end, where I think Moana is a good role model because it shows that she's strong and she can do everything on her own.
None of her character arc is about her getting with Shang. That's just a bonus thing that happens. Her character arc is finding out who she is as a person. Where Moana, she has to do, she goes on the journey, but she wants to go on the journey. It is still her desire to do it. Where Mulan is not selfish. All of it is selfless.
Okay, Tiki, you brought up the question. You wanted to use it. You're going to call it.
All right. I think I'm going to go with Lazerdude on this. I do really like some of the points that Aaron made, but ultimately I think that Mulan is just a tough opponent to beat. I really do. But Aaron also, I think that if we dinged Lazerdude for basically doing like the plot summary thing, I kind of felt that a little bit with your opening statement as well. So just a little thing to watch out for on both of your guys' end for as we go into this final question. We don't really want to hear like summaries of the movie. We know what happened in the movie. All right. Okay, so we are tied up. One final question.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with the ridiculous question.
The ridiculous question is always the best question.
Okay. It's a doozy. Which two Disney characters?
Oh, God.
I'm going to have to try it again, sorry. Which two Disney characters should cook crystal meth in an RV?
Okay.
And they can be from different franchises.
I'm glad
Yeah,
that Teen Heart Priest has already gone to bed.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Dragon
serves them right.
And Dragon, can they be from different franchises?
I mean, they can be, but they could also be from the same if you'd like, but whatever.
All right. Okay.
Of course, in honor of the Breaking Bad thing that Tiki and I did recently, the Albuquerque verse related thing.
I'm gonna say Long John Silver and Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Silver and Hawkins, got it.
I'm gonna go with Aladdin and Disgust.
Okay.
All right.
All
well,
right.
No changing it now. Okay.
I respect it. I respect it.
Unorthodox, but let's see how
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. All right. So whenever you're ready, Lazerdude, you're going first. And remember, guys, you're tied up. So whoever wins,
Yep, this is it.
Yeah. So don't screw up.
When it comes down to it, what you need for this sort of thing of selling meth, you need somebody who knows the criminal empire. And who better than Long John Silver? This is a science fiction world. Of course, there's going to be drugs being peddled, and he's got the know-how to do it. But you also need the young sporadic go-getter, and that's Jim Hawkins. He looks up to Silver, and that's the perfect thing you want for this Breaking Bad type of relationship to blossom, where they start as friends, but then go antagonistic by the end of the movie, just like in Treasure Planet itself. I think that's why they're the best mix. You got the criminal in Silver and the young upstart in Hawkins.
I'm going to give Erin a couple more seconds. We'll go up to 32.
All right. So in thinking about who would be the best answer to this question, I also was thinking about who would be the best criminal, and who is it but the original street rat. He has the know-how how to live on the streets. He has those connections. He understands and is willing to be above the law or under the law, or however you want to look at it. And then I think you need someone to balance that out. And so I'm thinking of Disgust, who is going to have that healthy level of skepticism to be able to kind of rein in the more sporadic intentions that Aladdin might have, to be able to keep it a little bit safer in the cooking situation.
First of all, Aladdin only stole to feed himself and hungry children. How does that relate to meth empire? That doesn't work at all. And also, Disgust, what is she, like the embodiment of herself? Did she get out of Riley's head? Did she take over? What is a little 12-year-old girl peddling meth? That doesn't make any sense.
So I think that Aladdin is clever and street smart, which is something that you need. And yes, it would be the embodiment of Disgust, not a 12-year-old. And I think that pirates are going to be very kind of outmatched with trying to cook crystal meth. I don't think that that's something that they were doing at that time. So I think Aladdin's smarts is going to win the day.
Okay. Tiki.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you call this one.
Okay. I
Isn't
do
this the
think
final?
that
Does it
when
all-
we started,
Wait, hold. Actually, wait a second. Lazerdude
What?
does make a point. We
What?
should vote. We should all vote on this one.
oh,
'Cause it's
okay,
the final.
okay,
We always do that at 4-4.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
that's fair.
So, Tiki, you start us off. Who you?
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
My
Hold on.
explanation's going to go
Wait.
to Erin.
Hold on.
Erin.
Well, no, we heard you. Yes. Right, okay. No.
Tiki's going for Erin.
Yeah. Okay. Tiki's going for Erin. Jacob.
Erin.
Ooh.
I'm going Lazerdude, but we gotta know who the winner is now.
All right.
So that means Erin wins.
All right.
5 points.
Woo-hoo!
Look at her go. She's got 5 points. Erin, how do you feel?
Congratulations.
You won. You beat the Canadian.
I am very surprised. Lazerdude knows his stuff. That is for sure.
All right.
Well, good game. Good game.
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
now, you know what you get? You know what you won, Erin?
What did I win?
You won a front row seat to an exhibition match.
God.
Oh.
And even better, you get to judge it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. So, Tiki, It's not really good for like a visual thing to throw up there, but I guess we'll just say it. Okay, here's the question. So in memory of the sadly very recently, I mean very recently, kids. In memory
like
of
day recently.
Well, yeah,
yesterday recently.
All right, fine. The point is, in the last 24 hours, in memory of Raleigh Crump, the great Imagineer Raleigh Crump, which attraction? It's a quick draw question. Which attraction should be considered his magnum opus? Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, or It's a Small World after all?
It's a Small World.
All right, Tiki says Small World. How apropos.
Right now, right?
Yeah. That means Jacob.
Wait, what?
Okay, Jacob settled with the Tiki Room.
Wait, I'm competing in this?
Yeah, Tiki, did you not? Did you really?
I thought you were going to rope him in.
Why do I have to rope him in everything?
I'm sorry.
Oh, my. Jacob, do you want... Great. Hey, Jacob, guess what?
What?
I'm sorry, Dragon. That's my bad, obviously.
You're competing in an exhibition match to tribute the great Raleigh Crump, and your answer is going to be the Tiki Room.
All right.
All right, so it's which attraction should be considered as magnum opus? Tiki's got Small World, you got the Enchanted Tiki Room. And Erin's going to judge it. Although at this point, I'm praying that she judges it and doesn't just walk out right now. But we're going to trust she's going to stay put. Okay.
So Raleigh Crump has two specific contributions to It's a Small World that I consider his magnum opus. One of them is the Tower of the Four Winds that was at the New York World's Fair in 1964 and 65. That, I think, is just an architecture marvel in itself. But more importantly, we have that clock tower facade at Disneyland that's just iconic. I love his work on the Tiki Room. I love the Tiki Room as a whole, obviously. But I just don't think the Tiki Room is his signature like It's a Small World is.
I wish I would have known about this.
Yeah, me too.
I know, Jacob. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's fine. And I don't even really know much about Raleigh Crump in the first place. So,
but you've been to the parks. You've been on both the Tiki Room and.
God. That's the saddest sale.
I know
I've
it is.
ever.
I know it is.
You've been to the parks.
You've been on both the Tiki Room and It's a Small World.
Well, I hope Erin's enjoyed her time here because she's never going to want to come back for one of these.
I'm having a great time.
Okay.
All right, I'll try my best here. All right.
I mean, Jacob, it's not like It's a Small World is the most fan favorite attraction of all time. I think you've got a fair shot, honestly.
I know, but I just don't know what he did specifically for the Tiki. But all right, I'll continue. I'll try my best with this.
All right.
What can you say about the Tiki Room? That it was better under the old management. First off, you can definitely say that But the Tiki Room is definitely an unorthodox pick, and not something that everyone immediately thinks of when they think of Disney World. But what it is, it's an interesting example of a small little sit-in show that Disney World has, and obviously all the singing birds and animatronics were groundbreaking and revolutionary for their time, and still remain kind of charming to this day.
All right, I'm going to take my 15 seconds to actually aid Jacob because this was my idea. Raleigh Crump, actually, he did the most of the designs for the Enchanted Tiki Garden. Most of the Tiki God designs. That was all him.
I appreciate the help there. And small, I guess, and while Small World is immaculately designed and everything, it kind of wears thin after a bit, especially being stuck on it for a while. Whereas Tiki Room still has a bit of charm, and of course there's Dole Whip just around the corner. So if you just want a good place to cool off.
Erin, do you dare? Do you dare cast a ruling? What do you who made somewhat of a salient point on this one? What do you say? Who swayed you, if any at all?
Well, it was a valiant effort by Jacob, especially throwing in the Dole Whip at the end. But I have to give it to Tiki. I agree that the facade of It's a Small World in Disneyland is just so iconic, and yeah, so the point goes to Tiki.
Yeah, I can't really compete with that facade.
And the
Okay.
preparation was.
I also want to shout out Ryan Howe in the comments.
Well, how do you want to shout him out though?
Let's see. Well, he's saying
Right,
So a lot, Tiki.
he first came up when we were talking about like Onward and stuff. It was like mentioned how it was like the first movie, basically came out just before that.
right.
And then he said Marvel should have taken a break after Endgame. What's the debate again? Long John Silver equals Walter White.
And Jim Hawkins, Jesse Pinkman. It's funny though. If you think about it, it would have been kind of a neat combination if you had Silver and Aladdin. So Aladdin would have been Jesse Pinkman. Silver would have.
My instant go-to reaction when I heard the question was Jack Sparrow and Will Turner for like very similar reasons as Lazerdude. Anyways.
All right.
Not to mention that there are literally characters in Zootopia named Walter and Jesse.
Which is really fun.
That would have been a fun answer as well.
Oh man, if I chose what was his name, like Harvey the Sheep or whatever it was, the actual parody of Breaking Bad guy.
They're actually named Walter and Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dragon, they would have counted, right?
I mean, I'd be hard pressed to say no. I mean, I encourage you not to use them.
They are named Disney characters.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, technically,
I mean,
What
I would
if
have said.
Walter and Jesse are actually?
Problem is
like,
you
the
don't know
villains
about
in
a whole lot
Zootopia
about
too?
All right, and I know it's a little bit late for this, but nobody said any of the words.
womp womp.
But
Like,
what were
One
the
of them was like
words?
green or something.
No, Green would have been way too easy, even though you guys literally picked football for the last debate.
Yes.
So, like,
It was so what were they?
the words in this case were.
It was Condiment King Lazerdude.
You used Condiment King again?
No.
Oh God!
3 times. 3 times.
Actually, only
twice, but
only
never again.
technically twice.
Only 2, but thanks for
No,
tempting
you
me.
used it again, and the one was like
It was not
the
Condiment
word was,
King though.
All right, guys,
No,
let's
the
wrap
word
this up.
was technically
All
it
right.
was like not Condiment King, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The words were lucky.
That one I was sure was going to come up. I was very confident.
Especially during Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
But that was not said. Drunk.
Drunk?
Yeah,
Yeah,
drunk.
drunk. It was a long shot. I admit it wasn't really a big serious one, but yeah, drunk.
You weren't
might
talking about Dumbo?
Competition/contest. That's either one of those would have counted. Hey, here's the commonality thread between Cruella de Vil and Maleficent. Mark Davis. And also just the word madness for March Madness.
So yes, I'm shocked that none of those got used. But
I'm surprised Madness never came up.
I know that's the
during
thing. Madness and Lucky, I thought were going to be the ringers, but
Yeah.
But no,
All right.
you guys stepped around each and every mine we laid out.
Yep. Now it's
Wow.
just going to be there for the
Good
next
for
guy.
us.
So
I'm never using the coin again, by the way. If I had had my point in the beginning, I would have won.
Oh, you say that now, Lazerdude, but you know the allure of the coin. Instant points for doing nothing.
No.
All right, guys, let's
Good
wrap
game.
this up.
Good
Let's wrap
game.
this up.
Well, let's thank the kind folks that tuned in, Tiki.
All right, so yeah, thanks to Ryan Howe, Theme Park Priest, Z&K Channel, Sonia Fantasia popped in for a brief cameo, and New Horizons Music made a comment that I'm not sure I should say on air. Sorry, Evan. All right, that's it.
Right. You said Ryan Howe, right?
Yes.
yes.
Just want to make sure. I thought I heard this one. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. And we'll see you in the next one. I'll tell you, next month's debate is going to be a themed one, and it's going to be rather interesting. So,
Woohoo!
Till then.
Wahoo!
Let's go.